Hello, and welcome back to Chapter Master and the Steel Hounds. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, didn't you kind of already prove your point that, conventional battles could work with vehicles as long as you got the placement right? And you were correct. However, I'm not above milking a concept into the ground while I try and get my next concept up and running. But more importantly, this is actually for my own research. I want to know, if I take the vehicles out of conventional battles, how much of a difference that actually affects different force sizes. I want to know if a conventional attack is theoretically possible with just Marines, rather than just exclusively hiding behind all my armor. So that is what we are going to do. So we're going to find some orcs, go beat them up, and test out my theory. So, how's everybody doing today? I actually do hope you're doing rather well, and days are going good. It's day 42 of no rain, and I'm starting to melt in the heat. I must admit, I'm actually getting a bit sick of summer. But on the bright side, well, actually, no, it's not really a bright side. I do work, come home, cook dinner, do all the housework, maybe get an hour in the evening to myself, which I will be honest, I've mostly been spending painting my Adeptus Titanicus. If you're a member of my Discord, you will see I'm building my Warlord at the moment, and I've just finished installing all the leg armor. I'm painting them as Legio Ataris. Alright, the Firebrand. So, questions. What? Scouts. Tacticals. Specialists. Assault Marines. You can do attack or defense. Yeah, I knew that, but I'm just not writing. How do I remove vehicles? I guess you can't. They don't come under specialists. Also, Chapter Master Gargamel. Wow. Why did I name him? Oh, I must have been thinking it was amusing to name him after the Smurfs. Gee, that's a brain bleeder. Anyway. Alright. We will launch a conventional attack. Just to get these guys down to moderate. Because attacking high Tyranids with just infantry is stupid. And I'd kind of like this test to last a little bit longer than 2 minutes. Where did he die from? Okay, interesting. Now, let's just say... but remove... Can we remove the vehicles? We'll do first company, because that'll be a interesting balance. So we'll go first, what do we reckon, 10th? Can we get rid of all the vehicles? We can. Oh, we sort of can. We'll do first and 10th, just to get an idea of... Oh, okay, I was going to say just to get an idea of what it would look like. So, just a curiosity. Fire... Flamers are going okay. So they do get into close combat. And it seems that the Flamers and Terminators crackle with them. So let's... So the Terminators did suffer a bit of... Okay, so everyone seemed to suffer some damage. Interesting, interesting, interesting indeed. Alright, we'll launch up a second attack just with the local forces. Really? No? Game glitching out on me. We'll just launch a conventional attack with everything we've got then. That's unusual. Alright, so conventional attack without vehicles will result in... Oh, okay. It seems it will result in quite a significant more amount of casualties. Also, weird question. Oh, he can't even be promoted. I was going to say, most of these guys... Wait, why am I saying I'm selecting 1,000,000,000 Space Marines? I can do them as dreadnoughts, okay. But they need to be within other companies. Fascinating, interesting indeed. Well, all these guys can be promoted to regular Space Marines. However, it's fascinating that I can promote scouts straight into dreadnoughts, which, to be honest, would actually be a better use of them considering how powerful dreadnoughts are in this. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is to conduct more of my scientific tests. So, I want to test this out against orcs before we conclude affairs. So we shall go attack those orcs, I think. Actually, we'll go do that now. And this is just going to be a scientific playthrough. Artifact, Tipus Rotes. Huh, okay, well, we showed up to help. I don't know what that was about. Guess the chapter master can go take that relic. No orcs? No, I guess not. Alright, well, we'll go to Savonia, which was actually a... we'll fight this, and if it craps out, then I'll just reload the last save and run my test on the orcs. But Savonia was actually one of the names I added into this game from the forums, believe it or not. Oh, I forgot to set one of the companies to be boarders, because I was genuinely fascinated to see how powerful boarding would be in this context. Alright, if we lose, then I will opt out and do a running test as boarders. Because remember, I've got 2 of those companies have glitched out and they were loaded onto escorts. Which does mean I've lost those escorts. But it also does mean that I have the ability to test outside one of my actual more canonical playthroughs what I am looking for. So, I am going to actually reload a save, but for now, let's launch a full-strength attack. Alright, let's launch an attack, but let's just local forces. Oh, we can get rid of vehicles. It's good. So we'll launch, say, I don't know, 1st, 2nd, and 10th. Do you have any vehicles? Oh, you don't actually have any vehicles. Okay, well that's perfectly fine. 1st, 2nd, and 10th. Deselect vehicles. Alright. Launch an attack with local forces, because I'd like to see how well this goes without vehicles. Alright, gunfire goes well. Have lost 1 scout. Alright, so the scouts are copying a significant amount of fire. This is fascinating. Let's just go local forces attack. Alright, so that fire goes through. Now, again, let's have a look. So, Terminators and those guys suffer moderate damage. Who has negative ranged attack? Oh, because you've got a flamer and a bolter. Wow. You should have a chainsaw. I don't know why you don't. That'll fix it. I do like that color scheme. It doesn't look so good on Terminators, but I think the shading on the Mark V plate looks really well with this black and white crisscross pattern. Be a nightmare to actually paint on a tabletop. But anyway, so 10th Company was where they were copping it quite a bit. Do we even have a 9th Company? 9th Company has one Dreadnought. For a larf. Why don't we? Oh wow, I don't actually have power armor for all of them. Crazy. Well, anyway, I was going to reload another save, but first let's go extreme attack. Oh, end turn. Oh, really? Oh, because it's an extreme orc world, they can auto-generate orc ships. Alright, well, we'll continue my scientific experiment. Basically, I just want to see how badly stomped we get from an extreme attack. And then we shall reload the save and see what borders do. Man, those torpedoes take a bit too long. I always thought battle barges should have lasers and missiles, personally. I think the fleet combat should be overhauled in general. And it'd be cool to see, you know, star fortresses like the Phalanx or the Raptorus Rex or the Meta Lycranum being able to be used by certain chapters. Like, have it be an advantage that takes away like 20 skills or something. Like 20 points from everything. Oh, that's a pretty cool weapon. Alright. Oh yeah, I was going to launch a full strength attack just to see what we run with. Alright, they've basically breached. How many do we kill? So we basically killed about 1,000 orcs. But yeah, fighting anything above heavy orcs is retarded. It genuinely is. So, let's, as a continuation of my scientific test, go back to the Steel Hounds. And I want to again have a look and see how good borders can be when I actually set them up as borders rather than just being a Mong. Okay. Right. Now it's Ninth Company that were all aboard one ship, weren't they? So why don't we unload them, and we'll just reload them all onto separate escorts. Alright. Now. And I was told plasma bombs are pretty powerful, so maybe we'll get some of those as well. Ah, so you can do it like that. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Micro. Wow, really? No. I was just going to say, why don't we collect that company, or that squad, unload, reload. Right, and why don't we actually, we'll do a save, and then we'll see how more powerful it is with plasma bombs as a side effect. Because I'm curious if anything can make boarding and fleet battles more tolerable, then I will most certainly take it. Alright, unload. Load. They're all aboard the Ribbon Hound. Why don't we at least unload and reload them to the Links of Heaven? Oh, they probably won't let us do it actually. No, so I guess we can chuck them into that one. So, all infantry, set borders. Oh. Pooh. Fine. See, the the click to action ratio, I think, should probably be improved in any potential final version. And someone was asking, why do I keep, asking if there'll be a final version, because there never will be. Well, I'm a optimist. Actually, I'm not. I'm the hugest pessimist in real life, you'll know. But in this case, I'm being an optimist because I genuinely believe that there's no game that's truly dead. And I honestly believe that this is good enough a concept for someone to pick up someday. I believe in it that much. And I believe that someday somebody will take up the mantle of this game once again. And I mean, it's not a stupid concept to put it together. Honestly surprised Focus Home Interactive or one of the... I mean, imagine the Crusader Kings guys using this as a blueprint. I mean, that would be awesome. I could so get behind that. But I genuinely still have hope for this game. So that's why I always still believe in it, even after all this time. Alright. Right, Knife Company has basically been set up as borders. Right. So, what we'll do for Knife Company is we'll basically sail in, deal with these orcs. Right. But before we do, we shall... Sure, because where is Gemini? Actually, this is a save thing, so we're not going to worry about this. Right. We're going to launch a save because I want to see how the difference between boarding without plasma bombs and boarding with plasma bombs would be. Now, I've set Knife Company itself to be borders. We shall check in the chapter settings. Damage systems board and board next nearest vessel. Alright, so that is what we've got there. Okay, again, things kind of glitched out, but that's fine. Alright, let's fight. Enter to begin. Now, let's see what this does, shall we? That's actually impressive. My escorts were destroyed, but 3 of their battleships were basically annihilated by my boarding parties within the first few seconds. All the escorts are destroyed, and presumably all those marines are. However, they're down to just 2 battleships, which is a very interesting thing. And that was just a single solitary company by themselves. If you had second company, another company, or alternately, if I boosted Ninth Company, gave them boarding shields, better armor and equipment, that could actually work out better. Go that way, and then go that way. So you can hopefully fire your missiles. How about 2 of you move forward? Man, the fleet AI is so retarded. Alright. All my escorts were destroyed. So, that was just without... Poor sisters, holding the line. That was without plasma bombs. And without more micromanaging. So what I actually want to do is first we'll set it up with plasma bombs. And the next I'm just going to blow a bunch of money into Mark III armor, melter guns, flamers, all that sort of stuff. And see what sort of effect that has on this situation. But before I do that, I'm going to slurp a mouthful of my cup of tea. So, 1 second. Slurp completed. And I spilt tea all over myself. Alright, well, lesson learned, don't drink tea while trying to record. Right, now, plasma bombs. Forgive me if this is a bit chunky and technical. I know it might be a difference on my usual sort of banter style, but I'm honestly just curious about testing this. I want to see what we can come up with. So, re-equip the captain. Plasma bomb. Reckon one per each boarding party should get a plasma bomb. Plasma bomb. Links of Heaven. Plasma bomb. I've got 7 of these things to work with. Now this is a costly investment. However, I'm just curious to see how well it works. Right. P for bomb, or B for bomb I should say. You lot need to be set as boarders. I don't know what the story is there. Right. Oh yeah, you've got a bomb. Links of Heaven, Gleaming Tortured. Plasma bomb. How many plasma bombs have I got left? I think there might only be one left after this one. Re-equip. Okay, so I'm out of plasma bombs. Alright, that's perfectly fine. So, we've got all of our boarders outfitted with plasma bombs now. Boarding nearest vessel, I think, is the smartest solution. Automatic boarding for battleships or cruisers, that just, in my previous testing in my head, that just confuses things. Alright. Good. 2, 1, boosh. Alright, well, first off, let's just attack with those ships. We may as well help out the sisters, even though this is technically a smulligan attempt. Alright, there we go. Sisters can deal with that. Now, Steel Hounds, off to battle. Now, oh, well, 2 battleships isn't really going to be the adequate testing I was hoping for, because I imagine I'm just going to rip these things apart. Yeah, that was significantly more that was a bit significantly more mundane than I hoped it would be. Alright, well, we will chalk that up as a success. We'll chalk that up as a success. Ah, no, it's not scientific. There's no thing behind this. It's all bollocks. We're going to speedrun doing this again. Captain. You. Oh, I can't do people on different ships. Bollocks, this is going to be... Right, plasma bomb. You. Plasma bomb. We're going to give you a plasma bomb. Potent shadow. Plasma bomb. Plasma bomb. And you're wondering why I don't just equip them with plasma bombs and then save it and then come back? Well, as you should know, the next attempt I'm going to do is I'm going to test to see what sort of difference... Equip plasma bomb. What sort of difference re-equipping people with melter guns, flamers, and better armor is going to have an impact on this. Alright, so that's all the plasma bombs done. Set border. Alright. So, and I don't want to use all my money on that unnecessarily. Alright. 4 battleships. This is a bit better. I'll chalk this up to see how we do. So, oh, fascinating that they're going off to attack that one by themselves. Boosh. Alright. Still got... Okay, we lost 1 escort, which ran off on its own. 2 escorts. Okay, but we did destroy 4 battleships, and we've still got escorts remaining. So that's fascinating in of itself. Alright, I'm going to chalk that up as a success. We're now going to... Oh, this is, again, a bit more tedious micromanagement, but I'm going to just quickly buy everyone as best armor and weapons and equipment as I can, and just see what we can run this with. So, to see if equipment actually benefits the borders better than having bombs. Alright, so how many, all infantry? Oh, yeah, just fine, whatever. Alright, equipment, so... I can't get heavy flamers except from the Inquisition, but the Sisters of Battle. So we'll buy 10 flamers, 10 combi flamers. Yeah, melter guns, that's perfectly fine. Tell you what, we'll even buy 2 plasma guns since we're feeling saucy. Boarding shields. 30 of those. Armor. What do we reckon? Hold on. Why would you not just buy Mark IV? Like, Mark III Iron, it gives you 8 more armor class, but the minus 10% range is silly. Despite that, I am going to get 10 suits for the Assault Marines. But the rest, we're just going to crank out and see how many suits of Mark IV we can get. So, right, Night Company. I want to go for my Assault Marines. We equip. Let's give them all power weapons. P for power. Didn't I buy power swords? What did I just buy? I didn't. What did I buy? Oh, I bought weapons. Okay, whatever. Well, we'll give them decent armor. Since they're not ranged, we'll give them 15. I don't think we have actually 15 suits of Mark III, so we'll give them the 10 suits of Mark III we've got on hand. And re-equip them with Mark IV Maximus. Ah, for Pete's. Just tell me how many I can equip them with, seriously. Alright, how about we re-equip you with Mark's IV Maximus. Good. Now, do we have any other suits of armor that we could potentially give for this? We have 1 suit of Mark 8. Alright, anyone here want Mark 8? Just for a laugh. We'll give you Mark 8 just because. Alright, Mark 8 Errant, which is kind of stupid because it's just 22 armor class. Whereas if you jump up to Mark 4, up here, it's 22 armor class plus 5% plus 5%. That's, why would you not just take Mark 4? And again, I know I'm waffling back from the point, but Mark 8 costs 23, Mark 4 costs 28. So you're literally just paying 5 extra bucks for 5% melee and 5% range bonus with the same 22 armor class. doesn't make any sense why you would not just deck out everyone in Mark IV. Anyway, point. Alright. Oh. Can only do people on the same ship because that's stupid. But whatever. So we'll give you a flamer. No, I don't want to give you an Eldar power sword. That's the other thing. You should be able to just click and unclick rather than, you know, have to re-click something else. It just, yeah, it's annoying. Flamer. Re-equip M for melter. Alright, Links of Heaven. We'll give you one of the plasma guns since I'm feeling spicy. We'll give you one of the melter guns. And we'll give you one of the flamers. Right. Similar thing. Apologies, this is a little micromanagey, but, you know, that's actually a part of this game. And, while in the past I used to cut out the micromanagement grind, some of you have actually expressed appreciation for me to actually do things more methodically. So, hence why I'm actually doing things more methodically for a change. Alright. Melter gun. Flamer. Set border. Alright. Again, let's charge back into the fleet. Well, that was a lot of effort for limited payoff, but still, we'll see how well the borders do. So they split apart into two separate teams, and they eat them alive as if they are nothing. That's not really an acceptable scientific test, if I'm honest. Yeah, because there were only two battleships. I definitely think the plasma bombs helped. The multiple plasma bombs ripped up that enemy fleet. Setting that company's borders, you know, one company's borders by itself really did a lot. I think outfitting a company with multiple weapons of various classes and strengths with as much or as decent armor as you can get, backed up by multiple plasma bombs would be the way to do. So, if you were on a budget, I'd ditch the Mark IV and Mark III armors for people. I would outfit them with... I'd ditch the plasma guns as well. I would outfit them with flamers and melters and maybe boarding shields as well, which I should have equipped, but oh well. And then maybe like 3 or 4 plasma bombs throughout that force, and that probably would have done the trick. But yeah, I might actually keep the Steel Hounds file on hand, because it might be a good idea for me running tests. This might be interesting. Or even if you guys have a theory or an idea you want to test, so let's say you wanted to see if equipping every assault marine in the chapter with power weapons, how that would dramatically affect things, then we may as well give it a shot. Be nice if I had more money to do this, but we'll improv and see what we can come up with. So, yeah, cheerio lads for sitting through this if you did. I do hope you appreciate it. Well, I thank you if you did. And I shall see you all again another time.